Every October since 2011, Retro Movie Geek has brought you the spooky side of retro movies. And this year is no different. So, a haunting we will go, as we dig up classic tales of ghosts and hauntings that are 20 years old or older. But remember, we spoil the hell out of every movie we cover. So consider yourself forewarned. Spooky Flix Fest starts now.
David? Are you here? Can you hear me?
It began at a party. It was only a game.
David, will you return to the living one day? Bullshit. Careful, Jim. You're upsetting David. David, are you all right?
Yeah, he's all right. He's just a little dead, that's all.
Shut up, Jim!
What's he gonna do, haunt me?
Hello, Linda. This is Brandon. I just realized I left my Ouija there the other night. I'm having some friends over Sunday and they want to use it. Besides, I want to contact David and see if he's calmed down yet.
David, are you here? Are you still angry at Jim? David, where are you?
Man, don't tell me you brought that crap with Brandon and that board.
Oh, please.
Boy, David, you sure know how to hold a grudge, don't you? David?
I want to bring a medium by your apartment as soon as possible to exorcise the spirit.
Okay, let's talk to some ghosts.
David, where are you?
You!
Did you cause that accident at the site? David, don't lie to me.
When someone uses a Ouija alone, like Linda, she's very susceptible to the spirits she contacts. And the wrong spirit will take advantage of this. Pretty soon, all she wants to do is use the board. And once that's done, he's able to possess her.
Linda has made contact.
Linda, unlock the door!
David is here, and he's playing for real. It isn't a game anymore.
Welcome to Spooky Flix Fest, where apparently we have a new visitor to the show, and it's not just Tenebrae Tyson. No. It's apparently either the Zodiac Killer, Jason for part 2, or a member of the clan. I'm not 100%.
Not the clan.
Or the Tex Phantom Killer of Tex
Oh,
Arcana.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Town of Joe at Sundown. Yeah. Is that what we're going for? Is that the look you're going for?
Something
Peter?
like that. And
All right.
just like in the pandemic when wearing masks, when I exhale, my glasses fog up.
Well, I'm at a point in my life where I effing hate masks, except for those kind. Feel free to wear that at any point, at any time. I love it. It is awesome.
Yeah, but hot.
It is very cool. I wish I had a good sack head mask.
Do you wish you had a good sack?
Wow.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, well.
A good sackhead
I
mask.
can't reach anyone.
Welcome, Diabolical Daryl. So I am Gilman Joel. Pumpkinhead Peter is here, of course. And Diabolical Daryl, who apparently, when he saw a large white man wearing a white hood, decided he probably did not want to stick around. And he
No, I almost left the show just now.
Okay.
I was not a fan.
Okay. Yes.
So
yes.
had I worn my bloody apron too, that would have been worse.
No, that'd have been better. That'd have been better.
Without shirt on? Oh, son of a bitch! No.
No.
Don't do that. So, I guess we are covering. Well, Tenebrae. I did it twice now, correctly.
Yeah, you did.
Tenebrae Tyson is joining us.
Buongiorno.
That's the way to point.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Buongiorno.
So he is here to discuss Witchboard from 1986. What you got there, Tenebrae? Nice. Wherever did you pick up such an awesome VHS copy of Witchboard?
From our good friend Shelby in Tampa, Florida at Viper Video.
Wow.
With my good buddy Gilman Joel.
Willie. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was there, wasn't I? Yeah.
So I'm going to be the downer has. I kind of like the poster better with the Tawny Kitaen and the hands with the coming up.
Which one?
Which one is that?
Poster.
Yeah,
The one I've used.
This is the only one I remember. The poster.
Yeah, that's the background that I'm using.
There's another. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know that too, and I have a DVD which is an even shittier cover, but the original poster is, I think, with it says Witchboard and Tawny Kitaen, and there's hands coming up.
Wow.
Well, are you sure you're not thinking of one of the Rat album covers that she was on?
No.
Well, all right. So I do have a question though, because I know when we were at Viper, Tyson, that we saw the box for, was it Witch Trap, which has a villain. I've never seen Witch Trap, so I don't know. But
it's the same director, I think, isn't it?
Is it Kevin Tenney? Is he the same? Okay.
So. Yeah.
Any movie with the word witch in it from 1986 to like 96 he made.
Okay. All right. Including the Witchcraft series. Do you remember any of those Witchcraft movies? There was like 15 of them.
Yes. Oh, I do.
Yeah, every time
he did Witch Trap. There you go.
Oh, he did. Okay, I will have to watch that at some point too, because it looks like the same villain. Like it looks like the Mouth Fedor guy. So
it's the same actor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's why. That's amazing.
He's actually he was a photographer. I read somewhere.
He's a creepy looking dude. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Good casting. Yeah. But we'll get to that. Daryl, do you remember? Was it like every time, at least once a year, you'd walk into your video store and there'd be a poster for the new Witchcraft movie? It was like Witchcraft 2, The Temptress. They're all.
Was that all the pentagram?
Yes.
Like every cover was the
and
pentagram.
they're basically, they also give off like soft core vibes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Soft core.
Have you ever seen
Give me
any
a
of
minute.
I saw a couple.
Keep talking.
One and
I'll be
two.
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw the Temptress one.
I've never seen any of them. Tyson, have you seen them?
Yes, I think so. I don't know which one I saw. I don't know if it was the first one or the fifth one or whatever. I want to say
they're super low budget, right?
Because it wouldn't be something that would have been on Sci-Fi Channel, but it was like a sci-fi kind of channel, but not edited, obviously. And maybe it was HBO. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've never seen one of them. I've always wanted to, just because I remember those posters growing up. Pumpkinhead has returned, which is perfect timing because I'm going to ask him to do his synopsis. Oh, and before I forget, since those that are maybe new to the show, if you're so inclined, there's a video version of this episode on Mama Pop Video Shop, as there have been for all of these Spooky Flix Fest sort of core Retro Movie Geek episodes. So go check that out. Actually, I guess technically for everything, including the bonus, but this one actually has video accompanying it. So,
did you miss me while I was gone, or
of course,
did I freeze up?
No, you didn't, because we couldn't tell at any rate because it was just a background. Did you go to get something, or were you just going to relieve yourself? What did you get?
No. With Tawny Kitaen. Hang on, I'm just gonna see. No, it's
is this the DVD cover?
No.
Whoa, what is this? What is it?
The Perils of Gwendolyn in the Land of the Yik Yak.
Oh, big hit with that title.
Couldn't you have invited me? Why couldn't you invited me for that one?
Yeah, well.
Hey, next year put me down for the Gwendolyn and the Yik Yak.
Gwendolyn and the Yik Yak. I feel like Yik Yak is a euphemism.
From the director of Emmanuel and the story of O. That kind of.
Now all of us went. Oh, okay.
I was just about to say that those witchcraft movies remind me of the Emmanuel.
Fine. Also, it's the unrated director's cut, of course.
A little bit.
I'd probably watch it.
Probably. Yeah.
And we can probably pick that up from Shelby.
Probably.
Viper Video.
Shelby would have
this is how the DVD looks.
Like motion blur? Oh, okay. I see it now.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hang on.
All right, we got it.
I do like me some Tawny Kitaen, boys. So it's going to come up a lot.
Listen, hello.
See what I did there?
You want to hear a synopsis for the Witchboard?
I would love to hear a Peter VHS synopsis.
Because I love this.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Tyson, grab your tape and read along with him.
Yeah, I'm going to check.
See if it's the same as your tape. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice because I love this. It's short and it's stupid.
Okay.
Hang on. Jim didn't believe in Ouija boards.
I dated a volleyball player in school just like that, by the way.
Short and stupid?
Yeah. Why she was playing volleyball, I don't know. But
I didn't say anything.
Go ahead.
Jim didn't believe in Ouija boards. His girlfriend Linda did. The trouble is, some spirits are good, but some are dangerously evil. Against strong advice, Linda dabbled on her own, with horrific consequences. Jim is now a strong believer. I love that.
Tyson, is that what yours says?
Not even close.
All right, what does yours say? Go ahead. I don't mean to stop on.
I don't want to step on Peter's either. But
well, when you heard my synopsis, you know why I picked it because it's just hilarious.
Yeah. All right, what does yours say?
I'll go through mine quick then. So, a witchboard becomes a doorway to the supernatural when an evil demonic spirit is unleashed and terrorizes a small community. Intrigued by the board at a party, Linda, Tawny Kitaen of Bachelor Party, unknowingly calls up the spirit of a dead axe murderer, Malfator, which, by the way, this is spelled absolutely... None of us could have even possibly spelled this the way they spell it on here. Malfeitor.
Yeah.
Really?
Dead axe murderer Malfator, who rekindles his fascination with blades. Linda's boyfriend, Jim, played by Todd Allen of Mask and Silverado, suspects of being responsible for the gruesome deaths, must find a way to return the evil spirit to its resting place before it completely takes over the soul of his unsuspecting girlfriend.
That's not horrible. I mean, it's a little off, but it's not horrible.
No.
Peter's was funny.
A little more on the nose.
I read the one that Tyson read. I also found that one, but I thought this was just.
Oh yeah,
Jim didn't believe it, and then it ends with Jim is now a strong believer.
Yes,
super stupid.
All right, so Daryl, Diabolical Daryl, when did you first see Witchboard?
I don't even remember. I know I saw some of it at least because I remember some scenes, but
the shower scene.
No. But I remember, I don't know, I remember some of it, like the party. I remember the beginning at the party where when they first introduced the Ouija board. And I remember the actor because he was from soap operas. He was Patch in the soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives.
Stephen Nichols.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who looked like a cross between Tim Daly from Wings and Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
From Star Wars.
And you know who he sounds like kind of once in a while? Gene Simmons from Kiss.
He does.
Sometimes when he's talking, the way he pronounces.
Did his tongue come down and like touch his belly button? Is that what you thought? Is that why you said that?
Sure. That's what he meant.
Let's see. Jim is now a strong believer. Where did we end up on?
I don't know. No,
but it's Patch.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like this would have been a cool movie because, I have the fantasy where Daryl went and saw all these movies on like 42nd Street back in the day. Right? Wasn't that the Grindhouse or like that was the whole.
Yeah, doing cocaine.
I didn't say you were doing cocaine. I think I like to picture you as like this innocent lad, and that's how it got you so dark and cynical about life. Was just the fact that you would hang out in 42nd Street. It ruined you as a person. But
do cocaine.
I didn't say you did cocaine.
I want to say I did cocaine.
Okay, fine. You did. You said it. I didn't say it. I'm just saying. I feel like this is a movie that would have played on 40 seconds. It feels kind of, I mean, it's not sleazy. Sure.
Maybe that's where I saw it. Maybe I did saw Witchboard in one of those theaters I told you about where they would just throw like a bunch of different movies in a row.
It feels like it could be that movie.
I think I did. That might have been the case. I think that might have been the case.
And even if it wasn't, tell me that because it makes me happy.
Sure. That's what happened.
Okay.
Joel is easily amused.
Easily. I may have watched a couple of documentaries on Tubi about 42nd Street in the Grindhouse world. So, Peter.
Yes.
When did you first see Witchboard?
Well, kind of the same time, I think. We rented this back when it was new over here. So, right around the time it came out, 86, 87, sometimes there.
Did they edit it?
Should have forgot to check. I'm not sure. Just keep talking about
the violence.
I will find out.
The
What
violence.
would they edit though?
I know it's pretty off screen. Most of the blood and gore. Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's more sudden and violent, and it's so stupid. They again with trailers like this, they show some of the like when his friend Lloyd.
I was just gonna say, man.
Lloyd's
they were spoiling
so
shit even in '86.
Oh yeah, go back and watch trailers from way back in the day. They've always done that, man. Yeah.
I don't think it was edited because what would they edit? Basically,
I don't know. Maybe her head getting cut off. It was a dream sequence, though. Maybe not.
Nudity.
Well,
nudity
you know
was
the Swedish.
Well, Swedish.
The shower scene's pretty good. So is nudity.
No, nudity would be fine in Sweden. They would have probably put extra nudity in Sweden.
Yeah,
weird people dancing in the background.
Yeah.
This only had one nude scene, really. So
and it was. And you know what? It's funny. My memory of it was so much more severe than what it was. It was very tame from what I remembered. I feel like.
I mean, jerking off. You just probably didn't remember the blood was not in your brain.
You had to do it real fast.
That's right.
All right. So, Tenebrae.
Buongiorno.
What was your awakening with Witchboard?
What?
Or when was?
You guys know me and the fucked up childhood I had, so I can remember renting this when it first came out too.
You were 5.
Came out in '86.
How old were you?
It would have been '87 or '88, so I would have been probably 5 or 6.
Oh my god, I was joking, but that was wait. No, you actually were only. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I think it was my uncle that rented this one. And there's a few scenes, and I'm not spoiling anything here, but the scene with the ring and the drain,
yes,
always stuck with me because I went like 25, probably some odd years before I had rewatched this. But I always remembered that scene, and I remember.
Was it because you were yelling at the screen like I was? You do know you could just take the elbow off and dump it instead of trying to reach down in it. I don't know what you're doing.
Look, and Tawny Kitaen's probably not as knowledgeable with modern plumbing and tools as you are.
No, but she knows about a toothbrush not going down the drain.
By the way, am I the only one who immediately jumped to the conclusion that was her boyfriend's toothbrush?
Oh, that goes without saying.
It had to be.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I was put it back. So I was way too young when I first saw this.
I was not that young when I saw this, but it's for this movie I heard about before I saw it. My friends John and Jeff, the twins, their mom would let us like pretty much. They were the ones that I was sleeping over at like when I was 11 or 12 or whatever it was, and we saw Pieces and Sleepaway Camp like back to back, and I was traumatized. They were telling me they'd already rented this movie and seen it because I remember them talking about this Malfador, and I think they were trying to freak me out and convince me it was a real thing because I was extreme. Shocker, I was gullible. So as a child, I know
I can't find anything. So it
probably not you.
Cut.
It was a cut. Oh, that's good because it really didn't need to be. But I did see it finally. I probably was. It could have been like 8th grade or so. I feel like I was still fairly young. Because this movie's always been around in my mind. So I've always liked it. I never disliked this movie. I don't love it the way I think you do, Tyson. I don't want to give anything away. But I don't think I love it to the degree that you love it. But I have an appreciation for it. And rewatching it, we'll get into what my thoughts of it are today. However, I will say, after finishing this, I immediately added Witchboard 2 from 1993, starring in my opinion, and I know we're going to have an argument over this, because Tawny Kitaen is lovely. But part 2 stars Amy Dolenz. Okay. Amy Dolenz. So I'm sorry if I have, if we're doing
seen it?
I've never seen part 2, and I really want to. It's the same director, right? It's the same director.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So,
yes.
And he also did Night of the Demon.
That's more the Malfader story too, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I have not. I know nothing about it.
I think so, unless I'm totally because I know I've seen it. And I can't remember a thing about it.
Nothing. Okay. She moved. It's Amy Dolen's character moving into like a studio of some sorts, and she, I haven't seen it in ages either, but it's nice.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
Any nude scenes in it, I suppose. I don't.
Oh, what's the point?
I'm sorry, you dirty old man.
You still want to? You still want to play that better than Tawny Kitaen card now?
Yeah, because I also have this really like odd, well, hold on. I have this odd quirk. It's sort of like the my angel is a centerfold philosophy, where there is something about like sullying the memory of like the purity and the beauty
Bless your little heart.
What?
That's how I feel.
You on
Bless
that? You
your
on that
little heart.
bullshit right now? Bullshit.
That is how I feel.
And
I'm
you were
allowed.
in the 8th grade when you first saw this movie, and what did
What
you
part-
go,
oh,
go,
no, which-
go to?
the
Did you
first
go
part?
straight to confession right after
No,
you?
Yes,
right after you
yes.
watched it?
I wasn't even Catholic, and I'm like,
Bless
hey
me,
guys,
Father, for I have sinned.
yeah,
Apparently, you were
yeah,
Irish too.
I am part Irish, so maybe that's what it is.
Wow.
Maybe I felt like in my deep Irish roots, the Catholicism like came through a genetic, and I felt guilty for looking at boobies.
Man, Tawny
I don't think I've
Kitaen
ever-
is hot. She's
I didn't say she
hot.
wasn't she's a beautiful woman.
I've
I guess she
never,
was.
never
I didn't
felt
just say
guilty about.
beautiful. I said hot. I said
And
fucking hot.
and it's I mean it's Daryl's because it's a redhead.
Well, Daryl,
That too. That
did
too.
did she turn you on to hair bands in the 80s like Whitesnake with Here I Go Again on My Own because of that
Well,
video?
I certainly didn't watch the videos for the music. I
No?
watched it for the video.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like that
I
song.
like
though.
that song too. Yeah,
You like that song?
I do
It
like.
was fine.
Here I
It's
go
not-
again on my own.
All kidding aside, though, she was.
I'm not
she
kidding.
was bombshell
Yeah.
good looking, and from the version I watched, I did not watch my VHS version. I actually watched the Joe Bob Briggs last
cool.
version.
Okay.
And he mentions the fact that they cast her. They had all. I mean, they had a lobby full of beautiful women, and when she walked in, it's just
That was
like,
it. That was it.
I mean, it was like no question.
Because she played
that was
sweet.
there.
Because she can play sweet and be gorgeous, and she can play
And then
sexy.
turn on a dime, right?
Yeah.
And
And
just
let's
go
let's
back
all
crazy.
just say it now. Her dressed in like what was it called? Is it called
As
a
the
pork,
dude.
a pork pie hat? Yeah, and a suit.
It's in
Kick-
my notes.
Well, hold on. And kicking your ass is probably like a lot of guys' fantasy.
Tawny Kitaen is her hottest when she's batshit crazy and dressed like a dude.
True. You're not lying. It's the truth. Sorry. Deal with it.
I don't like her boyfriend. I did not like her boyfriend in this movie.
All right. Well,
Oh,
you know
he's a
what?
G.
Wait, hang on.
I have
Would
that
you
down,
like
too.
her
Let's- I
boyfriend
can't
in
wait.
real
This is gonna
life?
be a good one.
What? Well, hold on.
Would
In
you have
real-
liked her boyfriend in real life at this time when she was recording this
Well,
movie?
you mean O.J. Simpson? Was,
Yeah.
OJ?
Oh,
Didn't they
Woo.
say? I tried to look up trivia on this, and didn't they?
she
make her-
dodged a bullet.
Well,
or a knife.
Hold on.
Or
Hang
Didn't
on.
they say something in the trivia? It was weird how they wrote it because I think whoever did the trivia kept mixing up the her name with the director's name, and it was a
Really?
mess. Yeah, but whatever. But they said something like she had some. It said an intimate when she met Todd. Which one?
Oh, yeah,
is
Todd Allen. Yeah. But no, not like that. It just I think
Right,
they
but
hit
why
it
would
off.
you
Yeah.
write it? Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
don't
the
know.
person writes it like
Yeah.
they had an intimate relationship. It's like, why would you write that shit like that? It was all confusing in the
Well, I watched.
trivia.
Yeah, there was a featurette on the DVD.
Oh,
had.
you watched the featurette? Okay.
Yeah, and
I
they said
thank
they
you for
hit it
clearing
off.
it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for
they hit
clearing
it off. So I think that the guy writing the trivia has kind of got it wrong because they hit it off completely and had fun. And they had all of them had like a dirty joke mind.
Correct.
There's Tawny Kitaen, Todd Allen, and I think the director too. So they kind of hit it off, and I think that's where that misconception comes from. But I read that trivia too. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me.
No.
I was so confused. Okay. All right.
Well, then while we're talking about the old cast crew and whatnot, so we have Kevin Tenney, as we mentioned. He also did Night of the Demons, if memory serves,
Yes, he
correct?
did. Yeah.
All right.
And
Yes.
Never heard of it.
we covered it, I think.
We did cover it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peacemaker.
Not the one with George Clooney.
I don't.
Yep.
Really? He directed it?
No, I don't think it's that one. It was. It's an alien thing. I think it's with Robert Forster.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
I've seen that one. So yeah.
Okay.
The Cellar, which is a cool one, and Witch Trap that we talked about. So
okay. And he did Witchboard 2, correct?
Yes.
Did he do
one
the
you
sequel?
haven't seen yet?
Did he also do the sequels to Night of the Demons? Because there's what?
No.
four,
The third? No. I think he did the two first, and that's
The
it.
first two. Okay. The first two. Okay.
The two good ones, I think.
So Todd Allen plays Jim the boyfriend. Now, here's what I would say right off the bat, and this is one thing I'm going to give this movie credit for, that a lot of movies of this era, especially movies in general, don't do great with character arcs. But I'll say both Todd Jim, the boyfriend, and Brandon have good, decent, at any rate, and Brandon especially, character arcs. Because my very first note is, like, I forgot how much of an elitist asshole Brandon is at the beginning of this thing.
I wrote down the first thing I wrote down: ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, kind of a douche. And then
Oh no, he's a big douche.
And then I wrote down current boyfriend, drunk, and also kind of a douche.
Yeah, but his douchiness. If I be
She's got a type.
Yeah,
she got a type, but I would say this. Guy got invited to his ex-girlfriend's party, right?
Yeah.
Right. She's there for the boyfriend. He's doing like this constant like intellectual dick measuring contest. I don't blame Jim for having a problem with and then we find, of course, they have like this history together of being friends.
I would have fought him.
Yeah, that was the level.
Man, this is why Daryl and I are long lost brothers. Listen to this. Second note on my list. I'd have probably beat Brandon's ass immediately for all kinds of reasons. The least of which is that the sumbitch had his hands all over Tawny Kitaen.
No kidding.
I
know.
Movie.
First off, you're not going to come in my house and disrespect me. And then say all that
and then
shit.
Cuck you. I treat you like a damn cuck, right?
And I probably would have spoke to my girlfriend and be like, I need you not to be in his face on the couch. You already know we got,
and you don't say goodnight to nobody.
Like, we already got problems. We already got static with each other. Like, I need you to not make it worse.
Yes.
Because it's going to be worse. And goddamn, if you're hot, please don't leave me.
Yeah. So the other thing that annoys me about Brandon is he does that one of my favorite things of in the world of like the cognitive dissonance to convince yourself because you believe you're so smart that you've got to tell everybody you're an atheist, yet you also believe in spirits. I'm trying to figure out how you reconcile those two things. I'm not saying you got to believe in the traditional Judeo-Christian views of God. I am saying, though, you're not an atheist if you also believe in the spirit world and mediums and all of that.
First of all, you ain't bringing that shit in my house. You start talking about
Let's start there. Let's start there. Yeah, good point.
You start doing Ouija boards in my house, you got to get out.
Wait, hold on, Daryl. I have to mansplain you like.
Oh no!
Hold on.
Do the Brandon thing.
Oh yeah, I'm doing. They're not Ouija. They're Ouija. Ouija. It's the German, the French, and the German
and
word.
French.
You know what I got to say? I would whisper, "Get your shit
out my house
and get the fuck out my house."
If you don't
go get in your $1.5 million Shelby Cobra.
Go get hey, go get your fucking shoe shine box.
Listen, Professor.
Hey, wasn't that like an 80s yuppie party thing though? The Ouija board. I mean, I feel like I was always scared shitless. Full disclosure, I've never done it. I don't want to.
I did it. Actually. My friends John and Jeff, that got me in a lot of trouble in general. I love how I'm throwing them under the bus 30 years later, 40 years later. They were my best friends growing up. We were little kids. Met them when I was 11. And again, because their mom, I remember they had a Ouija board and we used it. Now, I don't know if that junk was real or not. I do remember, though, that either they were real good at making that planchette thing move.
You're right.
Or it was real. I don't know.
My cousins did it when we were kids, and I remember being scared shitless at that thing.
It freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. And then
I've sat in an empty apartment doing it completely.
And the worst part is, I was the kind of kid that when I got scared, I'd turn into more of a smartass. So I was like Jim. I'm making all these snarky comments. They're like, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Well, the thing about the board
lame, so stupid.
If no one's ever touched that board, the thing about that board is that it is so slippery.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put that thing on
it just kind of glides.
It is so easy to just move it.
So you say nobody touched it and it's still slippery. Are you sure they didn't touch it?
Are you talking to me?
No. But
he's making one of sex jokes.
Oh,
I'm
an innocent who does not get your crude vulgar humor.
It was slippery.
He put out his finger for you to pull it, and I didn't pull it, and you were about to pull it.
I'm like, what? What's going on? Did anybody else do light as a feather, stiff as a board? Did you guys ever do that when you were a kid?
I did. I
Yes.
did do that one.
What?
Where they
I wasn't
never mind.
nearly.
the levitation, the
Yeah.
levitation.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
a fat kid, so nobody was going to try to do
Nobody.
that.
I know you're the one that had to put your fingers.
high.
You had to put
Yeah,
your
I did
fingers
too.
underneath them. Yeah,
Exactly.
You're talking
Yeah,
about the gate now.
that's a real. That we used to do that back in the day. That was even before the
Yeah.
gate. And I'm like, hey, Daryl, I'm like you. I had older cousins, and they were the ones that did a lot of that stuff when I was, I would be on the like. I'm supposed to be in bed, and you can hear, they're all talking about what
Yep.
they're doing, and you're like, it's freaking you out because they're all into it, but then you're looking at it like, they're teenagers. So, but you're a little
we had
kid.
I was the youngest cousin of that generation of kids, and so they didn't give a shit about me. They just made me do all that stuff, whether I wanted to do it or not. It didn't matter.
Yeah. All right. So Jim, I will say, ultimately, I like Jim as like the working class boyfriend, but I guess the thing that kind of threw me is when they reveal he was in med school, because then you suddenly feel like I'm not saying he had. I'm not saying
I
he
don't
had.
like Jim. Jim, I didn't like because Jim played too fucking much.
He was a bit. He was a bit of a dick.
I got a thing, okay? Don't
Bit off.
fucking walk up on me when it's quiet. Don't fucking walk up on
Oh
me.
yeah,
like
I
that.
made a note of that. That's a running gag. Jim
That
keeps
is
scaring
annoying,
people.
and he keeps thinking that's funny. That shit's not funny, man. Don't do that, because I'm gonna punch you in your face. I'm gonna turn around and punch you in your
I
face.
tried that and I've been hit.
Don't do that.
I think why I like Jim is that the actor Todd Allen to me gives off Michael Biehn vibes, or Bean, however you say his name,
Oh,
from
and he was
Reese.
in a movie
Reese
we
from
all
Terminator.
gush over.
A little
little
bit.
bit.
Yeah, he's in a movie we all.
But I
gush
will.
over.
I
What
I will
was that,
give you
Peter?
that his.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, Tyson. What was that, Peter? What movie?
He was in a movie we all three of us gushed over.
Which was what?
Last movie we covered on Retro Movie. No, son of it. Forgotten Fleet from Members.
Oh, Uncommon Valor.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember him being in either. What were you gonna say, Tyson?
No, I was going to agree with you though that I do his character arc by the end of it. He does kind of come around, and they've got that sort of buddy.
Yes,
friendship.
That's what I like.
He finally cries. Remember that was a big thing where he.
I knew that was
had
coming.
never cried, and he finally cries.
I knew that was coming. Plus, he didn't have any parents. Like that was the arc, right?
Yes, but I like that. But who he cries over. I like the fact that it's that whole idea. I always enjoy that where you got the two enemies and they have to come together. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's you have to come together and they kind of join forces.
Each other.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a Conan thing. Sorry.
Sure. So I
like
did
Rocky
like
3, man.
Yes, very much.
Like
that.
this
Yes.
movie. This movie is up there with Rocky 3.
That might be a bit of a stretch, but but I like that. I like that theme, that idea of those characters doing that. The other thing I will say, anybody else here ever work construction? I worked construction for a couple of years. Anybody else work any kind of construction before?
Ton of stuff.
Okay.
So.
Am I the only one here with calluses on my hands? By the way, this is about where. No, hold on. This is where Tyson gets to say, "Yes, Joel, we know." Especially since you have no idea how to barely change oil in a car.
No, man, I was a late bloomer too.
Okay, but I worked construction, and I will tell you this: why in the hell do these guys who are building houses have hammers with hatchets on the end of them?
I don't know.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Right.
That's specifically used for drywalling because they don't use the hatchet part for like chopping, but they can score drywall.
I was around a lot of drywallers, dude, and I don't remember one of them because every time you bring that thing back, that's coming at your forehead, dude.
True. It's true, but that's why most of them have a leather axe mask or something like that. Or a helmet. But no, I'll send you. The only reason I was watching something, it was like some damn TikTok or YouTube video or something that was like, watch how fast this guy goes with his drywalling. And the guy would like score drywall, put it up, and then flip it. I mean, that was like the point of the video is how fast this guy could hang drywall.
And it turns out
using that
and you read his bio, he's a big fan of Witchboard, and that's why he did it. I'm just saying, I don't remember any of those guys ever have other because I felt like every time he hit it, I'm like, you could take yourself out with that. I feel like that'd be an
specifically called like a construction hatchet or something like that. I think if you Google it, that's what
maybe. I just don't ever remember. I was around guys doing drywall.
If you're actually, firemen have a similar tool.
Sure,
too.
I get that.
That thing where you can dock something in like the window, but then they have that hatchet thing where if they need to pull open the drywall or something, or you need to kill somebody and have the body. But they have that thing, so they have it. I mean, I've seen it. It's used, but you're supposed to wear shit. Like you're supposed to have like on.
I just feel like OSHA would have a big problem with you hammering away with a blade coming to your face like that. I'm just guessing, but they were retentive about everything.
If you wore it, they'd have more stuff. They'd have more protection on the face and stuff. It's just
I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying the way they put it in this movie, I don't remember anybody doing it.
I don't know about 1986 though.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, that's okay. Fair enough. Maybe they're like, whatever.
Today these guys would get dinged for walking around with no shirts on and no sunscreen and no high visibility T-shirts and shit. You know, back then.
It's like whatever.
Yeah. Unless you pay off the city to not do it. Like they have inspectors now that come along and look at what you're doing. So
hold on, Joe. I want to correct you on something. You just implied corruption.
Yeah, I did.
I think to imply that there'd be any corruption in city governments or anything or with real estate developers. Or construction corporations. I feel like that is a bit of. I'm not going to say that you should apologize, but
I ain't. We just had a fucking construction thing.
I'm kidding. I was kidding, Daryl. I was kidding.
I tell you, I can name a site right now.
I assume everything's corrupt at this point. Nothing you can tell me would shock me.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Sure. So regardless of all of that, I thought that part was stupid. I also thought, as we've already talked about, that Tawny Kitaen, while she can get away with it because she is a lovely Tawny Kitaen, I thought the fact that she couldn't figure out that if she would just unscrew the other side of that elbow joint and pop it out and shake it, her ring would have popped right out.
No, she had a grudge against her boyfriend, so that's why she used his. I was his toothbrush. I'd forgotten.
I don't know that either.
Which end she used on the toothbrush?
You wouldn't have known to unscrew the freaking elbow joint when there's too damn.
Nah.
Really?
No.
Oh my God! All right.
That's what I got.
Oh, and another thing about that scene, she stuck her finger in.
Mm-hmm.
The joint was for. I mean, the ring would have been further down.
She's got some long fingers. Yeah, she got some.
Whoa! And of course, Joel used that finger.
Yeah, she's got those like those Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fingers, like the.
The ones that can reach your tonsils from the other way around.
Yeah.
Wow. Them fingers.
So we did. So we went death by.
Wait! I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Yes, you did. Death by sheetrock. I'm not gonna lie. Of all the deaths in this movie, that one bothers me the most because that junk does happen, and it is would be such a crappy way to die. Because
it was a great jump scare. That's why I hated this trailer, man.
It gives it away.
Yeah,
it's sudden. I mean, the way he kind of lays down, you think something because you've seen the shot with that.
I was expecting the hatchet.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes,
and the worst part is I've seen this movie multiple times, and I was still thinking, oh yeah, the hatchet, and then
I forgot about that. I thought it was the hatchet too. I thought the hatchet fell down right through his forehead, but I forgot about the drywall.
It's a shocking.
But I will say this, and we're going to jump briefly over a couple people, but we'll go back. Lieutenant Dewhurst, played by Burke Burns, who is like at the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie. And that's the other great thing about this movie is there are these great like character actor, like really quirky characters. And he calls Siegfried and Roy Sigmund and Roy.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
And he concludes that the same hatchet cut the ropes that also cut the throat of the psychic. Because
we haven't even gotten to her yet.
We're going to go back to her. But how exactly, pray tell, could one determine that the same hatchet cut a throat and also cut rope? I feel those are two totally different types of things.
Look, this coming from the guy who just had to binge watch every single one of the installments in the Saw franchise, and you're questioning the forensic abilities of
Yep.
Fair enough.
Expert.
Fair enough, but I feel like if it had been like it was the same hatchet that cut some other organic material, I'd buy that more than rope to neck. Like I feel those are two distinctly different things. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess.
I don't know, man.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You just got man.
do you
You
like
hate that hatchet,
magic?
don't you?
I have a
Yeah,
problem with the hatchet.
You
yeah.
do have a problem with the
You do.
hatchet. What is your thing?
There's something about that hatchet.
I should really just bury it.
Okay,
No.
dad jokes.
All right. So moving backwards to Kathleen Wilhoit, or I believe it's Wilhoit. Wilhoit.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
I totally love this lady. She is awesome at anything I've ever seen her in. So she plays Zarabeth, the medium. She was in Roadhouse. That's I remember from that. She's got 100.
I remembered.
Yeah, 133.
I forgot she was in Roadhouse, but I know
Oh,
now I know who she is.
she was in an episode of Yellowstone. I don't know which. I don't
Damn right she was.
Who was she in Yellowstone? I don't remember who she was.
I don't remember. It's probably in the first season or something. I don't remember, man.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, she was in Murphy's Law too, the Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to her
Private
earlier.
School. Anyone remember that?
Oh yeah,
that,
Private School.
That
Yep.
comedy.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Let me go
that.
back. Wow.
Nice one.
My God, she's been on Fire in the Sky,
Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
dude.
Angel Heart.
Angel Heart. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Witchboard,
Nice.
Morning After, Throb.
That's
Whoa.
what you stop on. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
sorry. She was an episode of The Jeffersons. The Jeffersons was still on in 1980.
Stanford and Smith.
Hell
In
yeah.
1980. Hold on. Jeffersons was still on in 85.
Yeah.
When did it go off the air?
Oh, damn.
Well, never. True. It lives in our hearts forever. But I always
There
think
you
of that
go.
as being like 70s. I don't think of that as being an 80s show.
No. That went. Jefferson went for like 10.
Well, but
something
Sherman.
years.
Well, hold up. Sherman Helmsley did Amen, and that would have been like around the next year, right? Around 86 or so.
You can do multiple stuff.
He wasn't in two shows at the same time, though. I think it was like from Jefferson's to Amen, wasn't it?
I don't remember it being that quick.
All right.
But I
I'll
was an
trust
old
you.
man. I was a young man.
Oh, Brenda Starr. Okay.
Really? That's what you get excited about?
Well, I didn't get excited. I haven't
Brooke-
seen that movie in 5,000 years.
The Brooke Shields movie. Wasn't that the Brooke Shields movie?
I don't remember. Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
It ended in
Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, she was in that.
Yeah.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Speaking of creepy ass alien.
Oh, yeah.
abduction
Oh,
And there we have JP Loops.
Hey, thank you for the reminder, Tyson. If you get a chance on Hulu, Daryl, watch No One Will Save You.
What is that?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I will just tell you it's an hour and a half, and it deals with something to do with aliens. There's almost no dialogue, almost none.
Really?
It is
Probing.
freaking, and
Lots of anal probing.
no, it's the girl. I'm brain farting her name, but you remember Justified, the original Justified show?
Hell yeah, I'm watching.
She played. You remember Loretta, the girl that was selling weed, the little girl that was really good.
Season. I'm up to that season right
Oh, okay.
now.
It's
son.
that actress. She is the main character in this. This movie is one of my top of the year, dude. It is so great.
Oh,
It is
they did
so
talk
great.
about her. You know what? I do know what you're talking about because they
It's
did do
so
a little
good,
thing
dude.
about her.
You know what? It's the movie, and Tyson, you haven't watched it yet, right?
I watched it last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What? Okay, quick. What did you think?
Different. I liked it a lot, but
Okay, but Tyson, all I'm going to say is, without going, because I won't spoil it, and this is not what we're talking about for this episode. I will say this: that is the movie I was tonally with her. I wanted Prey to be the Predator prequel because Prey, the way the main protagonist in that was, it was so choreographed and so planned out. This movie, the level of shit this girl's got to go through by the end, you buy it, but she's a survivor. Dude, I'm telling you, No One Will Save You. And it asks questions without just telling you what to think. I loved it. Freaking loved it. You got to watch it. It's legit, and it's legit scary. Like the way the aliens are, in my opinion, effing terrifying. It was scary, legit.
So they're not E.T.?
No.
Even though my oldest daughter, when she was a kid, she watched it, it freaked the shit out of her.
Yeah, E.T.'s scary when you're a kid.
Oh,
man.
E.T.'s scary as hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when he gets sick and he's all gray.
Oh, God, yeah.
Shrivel wiener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It looks
I
like
didn't like it.
like a cold ball sack.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yep.
The Jeffersons did end at 85, and then he did go right to
Amen.
Amen at 86. In 86.
I told you, now I get to name drop. I told you I met him once, right?
No, I don't think you told me.
So, quick story. The FMPTA, the Florida Motion Picture Television Association in Orlando, they would have these meetings. And this is when I'm like 19 years old. I was going to Valencia, and I went there thinking, we could, with a couple friends of mine, we're like, we're going to network and make contacts. And look, God bless him. I love George Jefferson, one of the greatest characters in sitcom television history.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Sherman Helmsley as a person seemed like he was a really nice, really sweet man. First off, one of the shortest men I've ever met. The dude was like all the jokes about his height. That was no joke, like legit. He was a really short guy, but very pleasant, very nice. But he was like the speaker that they brought in for whatever reason. And I remember even at 19 thinking like the level of ass kissing I was witnessing that people were doing to George Jefferson. I just remember thinking, I love movies. I love the process of making movies. I don't know if this industry is for me because the level of ass kissing, it was off the chart. So that's but he was I got to shake his hand. He was a very sweet guy. So, R.I.P. Mr. Helmsley. So, so Kathleen Wilhoit. Now we're back to Zarabeth. Yeah, we're off of George Jefferson, back to Zarabeth. Yes.
Let's see. What did I write about her? Medium, a bit strange, and impaled. Or impaled.
Impaled. Impaled as well.
She was a bit. She was
impaled. What the hell does that mean?
She was annoying as a beast.
I like her character, dude. I gotta lie.
I like her.
Strange.
I like her because she's an actor. I like her as an actor, but in those scenes, I was like, she's going to die.
I know
she was too ignored.
How old is she in real life? How old is she in real life? Like, do we know?
I don't know.
You could
probably 50s, early 50s.
50s now? It doesn't say immediately on her thing.
Born June 29th, 1964.
Okay, so she's. You know what she is? She's like I think the top end of Gen X, because I was gonna say that she gave off like the Gen X 80s vibes of like kind of just being this like kind of punk, kind of snarky, a little like not taking anything serious. Like she gave off those vibes, but I was thinking she might be a little bit too old, and they were just trying to appeal to that demographic with the movie. But yeah, I always love that's just a little psychic humor. I don't know. I like that.
You immediately knew when she walked past that sundial.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it was like
that was the lamest foreshadowing ever.
Yeah.
They just should have showed like a wide shot of her passing it to establish its existence. But as soon as she passes, they like rack focus to it. You're like, okay, well that's.
And you see, it's kind of like a glint, and that's sharp.
It's ground to a razor's edge.
Yeah.
Who the hell has that?
Like, I wonder what is going to happen next. Exactly. Yeah. So we mentioned Lieutenant Dewhurst.
I hate that sundial almost as much as you hate that hatchet, Joel.
Really? Okay. Right. It'd be easier to bury the hatchet.
Fuck that sundial.
Fuck that sundial.
All right. So I will say I also really like Jim's friend Lloyd. Was that Lloyd, the one who gets crushed by the drywall?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something about him.
Sunglasses.
He was good blue collar, like don't give a shitness.
I knew. I knew a lot of guys like him, and just like there's like they just don't don't give a shit. They don't care. They're living for the weekend, baby. That is it. They're living for the weekend.
And he was also in Witch Trap.
Was he? Oh, cool. I've got to watch Witch Trap now that I know all the connections.
What did I write? Pinocchio's Revenge. Okay.
Oh, that's the 1995 or 96 straight to video Pinocchio. Yeah, it's really cheesy. It's great. It's awesome. It's just like remember when they had like Mikey and they also had like Rumpelstiltskin. Like there was all those straight to video after Leprechaun came out, and Pinocchio I feel like came out like right in that mid 90s window. If I'm pulling that out of my ass. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's when that one came out. Peter, does it say what year was Pinocchio?
I'm looking at my notes, and he also was a voice actor, apparently. He did the Demons and Night of the Demons 1 and 2. No, 1, 2, 3, actually.
Let's see. Pinocchio's Revenge. 1996. Boom. I knew it was like in that window.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys don't remember that one?
You
see the poster?
Yeah, I remember Pinocchio's Revenge. Definitely I might have had the damn poster now I think about it.
Yeah, I remember that video in the video store.
What did he do with his
his nose?
Mm-hmm.
He told a lie. Bend over and I'll tell you a lie.
Oh. That's another one of them sex jokes.
Yes, it was. We had a cameo from Rose Marie, also known from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say it
And
that way because that's his
apparently-
name.
I don't know. And the Doris Day show.
Apparently, like the original jazz singer from 1920.
What?
Yeah.
90, oh, you made the very first talkie with like Al Jolson?
Click on her, brother.
Are you serious?
Click.
She was that old?
See what her earliest roles were.
Wait, hold on.
I think she had a 90-year career.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm going all the way back.
Oh, okay, that was way too fast.
But, I do not see the jazz singer. I see 1933, though. That's still pretty old.
No,
I see.
It's not on IMDb. I'm not saying you're lying.
Look up under her bio. I could have sworn I seen something about 1927.
Maybe it was like uncredited or something. Well, hold on. Here we go. Rosemary was a legendary business with a career stretching 90 years since her debut as herself in a Vitaphone musical short that appeared on the bill with the jazz singer. So she's not in the jazz singer, but she was in a short film that appeared along with it when it originally aired in 1927.
So she was on the screen at the same time the jazz singer appeared on.
Correct.
So not in it, but 1927.
Close enough. Good enough for government work, even if that government is corrupt.
Pretty remarkable.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
remarkable.
That is crazy. And
but then look again too, because she was doing like voice work and shit up through like I was gonna say she was doing like 6 years ago was still doing work.
Wow.
Right?
She passed away in 2017. Yeah, she almost made it to 100. Good for her. Good for her. Actually, this year she would have been 100. There you go. So she was like 4 then when the jazz singer came out. She was a little kid then. Wow. Holy crap. Let's see who else. Oh, obviously, Malfetor. J.P. Luke.
Yeah, he was in, and he was in Witch Trap too, and yeah, he hasn't really been in much. But,
is he still alive?
He's got a pretty unique.
No, died last year.
Pretty unique look though.
Yeah, he does. I will say, if you asked me to cast a 1800s looking axe murderer, and you showed me his picture, I'd be like, "Yep, that's the guy." Yeah.
Sure.
That's the guy. His eyes, man. I don't know what in that picture. He just has these really cold, piercing eyes. Yeah. When I remember as a kid when he shows up in that quick little dream and chops her head off, scared the ass out of me. Scared me to death.
Yeah, that's another one I remember distinctly as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that freak
out. He is a pretty imposing figure.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. So any cast crew, grips, best boys, water
we have to mention
champion that you want to talk about, Peter?
Yeah, we have to mention one.
Who?
Listen, I sent you a photo yesterday of the end credits, didn't I?
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Don't say it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's got to be here.
It
would have been
assistant.
Was it special effects?
Special effects assistant.
Oh, actually, Mark Shostrom was on one of the makeup effects guy, and he's a great effects artist. Okay, I'll find him. The one, the only.
Effects. There you go. Mick Strawn. Our buddy
Very
Mick.
Cool.
Yeah, been on the show several times.
I looked at when I watched that featurette. It was from the site where they're showing people walking in the background. I was almost like this in front of the TV. Where's Mick? Where's Mick? Where's Mick?
So, did you remember that he'd worked on? I didn't remember him working on it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't remember that either.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, good. Cool.
I think he mentioned when we talked to him the first time.
He probably did. Yeah.
I think he mentioned.
Dude's worked on a lot of great movies, so it's hard.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
So, yep. So that's what I was watching.
Well, I'm very glad you reminded us of that one. I felt bad if I had forgotten that.
Oh, I put it in my notes. I highlighted it with
good man. All right. Well, then, so I guess it's important. Should we?
Another thing I saw in this, they're in the hospital, right? He was talking to Lieutenant Dewhurst.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Todd do? Or Jim? Smoking in the hospital.
That's true.
Okay.
Back in the good old days.
A lot of Lucky Strikes.
Yeah. I also love that it was Lucky Strike. Do they even sell those anymore? Is that a brand that still exists?
No,
I think you can still buy Luckies.
Yeah.
Really?
I smoked Lucky Strike once or twice back in the day.
I remember
this was interesting.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. What I was going to say is
you were talking about Lucky Strikes.
No, I was actually going to talk about.
You hang up.
No, you.
Get a room.
I was gonna take us on a tangent about Winston. There was
Chesterfield.
No, the menthol. The was it?
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, I know.
Cools?
Yeah, the cools. Yeah. Oh, I got myself so sick off those one time. I ain't even gonna go there. Tyson, continue with your thought.
So I got to thinking about this as I was watching this, and other than Captain Howdy and The Exorcist, I was trying to think of big Ouija board movies prior to 1986.
Yeah.
The only two that I could think of was, I think, the original 13 Ghosts.
Okay. Yes, vaguely remember it being in there.
Around the same time period, The Uninvited.
Oh, the Ray Milland?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think you are.
I showed that to my
I
kids.
love that. I love that.
That was
I
actually
want to
one of
volley
the...
that to you guys. Can you think of any others?
No. And honestly, I would have been hard-pressed to think other than this and The Exorcist, I would have been hard-pressed to think of any other ones. But I will say, and obviously Witchboard too. But the Uninvited, my kids were like, I think Connor was like 4, and I showed that to them. Scared the crap out of them.
I love that movie.
Deborah Kerr, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I know it was Ray Milland. I haven't seen it since it's been 10, 11 years. So I need to revisit that.
Deborah Kerr was in The Innocents.
Yes, you're correct. I don't remember who the female lead was in that. I don't remember
I
who
should
it was.
know this. I have.
You should, Peter. That's why we have you here.
I know. I failed. Sorry. I'll just let myself out then.
No, stay. I love you.
Oh, The Innocents. The Innocents with Deborah Kerr is another favorite, but the Uninvited with that house was like.
I don't remember a Ouija board being that, but if you say there was, I believe you.
No, I think actually Tyson's right. I seem to remember them contacting.
Maybe I was thinking The Innocents.
No, I don't think there's a Ouija board in
that's more of a Turn of the Screw type story, right? That's based on Turn of the Screw.
It is based on it, so
yeah, I don't think there was a Ouija board. I could be wrong.
I think it because they try now thinking about the Uninvited. I haven't seen that in years.
Oh, what about Ouija? What about Ouija: Origin of Evil?
When was that?
That's a more modern one.
Yeah, no, but like Tyson said,
that was really good. Though. That's
prior to this.
I haven't seen either of them. I was just being a smart ass.
No,
well, that's why I know we're going to get around to this eventually, but say what you want about this movie, but I feel like it definitely helped pave the way for that sort of Ouija.
I don't think there was a lot before.
Subgenre, you know what I mean?
Well, I think on that note then, Tenebrae, what I was waiting for your response.
No.
You want to say Tenebrae?
No, buongiorno. Buongiorno, bellissimo. More blood is bellissimo. You're my friend. Buongiorno.
All right, so did the dumbest question that I feel I have to pose to you and Peter because I know the answer. Does it still hold up for you?
Nah, piece of shit.
It does, but I will admit that it is, in my case, I think a lot of C and D.
Okay.
And I will also admit though that it does have its flaws. I feel like there's a lot of ends that were left open. Like I don't understand the fucking ending of it at all. Like, well, this is Retro Movie Geek. We can spoil this shit.
Oh yeah,
because we didn't really talk about the very ending of this. But so they go through all that bullshit, and all he had to do, excuse me,
was shoot
is
it.
Basically just shoot the fucking board.
Yeah.
But then she pushes him out the. So I didn't understand. Was she still possessed? Was she not? Was she what? I don't.
Yeah, and I forgot.
And the board, he didn't kill the board because I mean it answered the old lady at the end. So
I guess all it did was break the connection with her.
Probably.
But then why did she still shove him out the window after he shot it?
I don't know. Maybe it was the last.
He was a douche.
Yeah, she's like, this is for all the other crap. Bam. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I will say that I totally forgotten how it the real end, right? Where you think it's a funeral and it turns out it's them getting married. He's
exactly.
And I will not lie. And when he goes out the window, I was like, because first of all, I love that very, it reminds me of Evil Dead 2 when Ash is going through the trees. That sort of, I'm talking about
the staircase, the psycho staircase.
Yes, the psycho staircase.
It was the last shot with him because he touched upon that in the featurette and said they saved that one for last in case he died.
Oh, that's hilarious. But I thought that was I couldn't remember the very ending. So I thought it was how the movie. I was like, man, this movie's freaking got some balls on it. I didn't remember it being this dark. Then they cut to the church. As soon as the way they did, I was like, oh, they're getting married. He's still alive. I forgot. And then I was like, it's like it went from being really, really high because I thought it was that dark to like, all right. I mean, it's,
I'd forgotten it too. I thought they actually was the funeral for his friend.
Yeah, because I thought. I wrote in my notes too. I thought in my memory that the boyfriend died, not Brandon. I don't know why I conflated that.
I don't
thought
know
the
why you
boyfriend-
thought that.
I thought Jim died. I thought he died earlier.
Anyway,
I thought he died way earlier.
Wow.
My point was, I love it just because, again, it's one of those that I remember from watching when I was way too young. I remember kind of where I was and the emotions I had, and I loved that I remember the poster and seeing it in the video store through all the years. So again, pure C&D is the reason that it's one of my favorites, but I will admit that it's certainly flawed.
Yeah, for those that are new to the show, C&D is cinematic nostalgia disorder. I'm sure it speaks for itself as to what.
T-shirt.
And TNA, what's TNA?
That would be terminal and aneurysm.
Nudity.
And TTFN.
Oh yeah.
I
know what it means.
I learned that in Christine, not in Witchboard.
What's DTF?
Down to friend on Facebook.
Fraternize. Down to fraternize.
Fraternize. Yes, that's better. I like down to fraternize.
Director of photography.
A director of pornography. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow.
Director of photography would start with an F, right? DF. Director of photography.
Over here, yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Sweden,
whatever.
yes.
Yeah. All right.
Let's
So
talk
Peter, let me
Yeah.
ask the most obvious question in the world. Did it hold up for you?
See, I can't say anything because, yeah, it did. I mean, the acting, we can all agree about the acting in this movie is not really top notch. See, Tyson's shaking his head like, yeah, it's not.
What?
And I mean, like, there's some holes in the script that are not really ties up really that good, but still, it is an excellent movie, and I love it.
Yeah,
I think
acting wise, I like the character actors like Zarabeth and the detective. They're meant to be these campy, fun, over the top characters.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I'm
that's how they
talking
play
about the others. Yeah,
but I would argue, and especially I think out of the three leads, I definitely think that Nichols, Brandon, the shunned ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I think he was. Is it Steve Nichols? Is that his real name?
Stephen Nichols.
Stephen Nichols. I think he was the strongest, definitely, of the three.
Oh, he was in a lot of soaps. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So no, but again, it's the way they. You can see that this is not a top-notch production like that. But no, I'm not.
Why are you hating on this movie?
Because I love this movie. It's cheesy, good.
This was
fun,
the director's first film, though, too, wasn't it?
Was it?
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I remember Joe Bob saying something where they yanked it. He was literally still in film school when they started production on that.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, that's right. I did read that too. Yeah, I didn't finish school.
So yeah, and
making Witchboard is nice.
To Peter's point, man, I mean, for your first crack at,
yeah,
you know,
hell, I would have been super happy doing this.
Yeah, he did a short called Book of Joe, then Night of the Demons. That's not bad 1-2 shot. That's pretty good.
You could have
and the camera. I thought the camera work in this was really good. There was some great crane shots and stuff in this. So.
Yeah, even the last shot of Jim. Yeah, the Jim going out the window and the way he kind of you had to hold that because otherwise you could see the contraption behind you.
Yeah, I love the way that looked. Yeah.
So, and you can actually see even in the movie when he almost hits the car and it kind of like wobbles a little bit. It's just I may have seen this movie more,
but it's real, Peter. It was real.
I'm not debating any of this because I love this movie.
All right, so Daryl, I know you were not on 42nd Street high on cocaine this time when you saw it.
Listen, the acting was pretty good, right? It's no fault of the actors. The acting was pretty good. It's not on them. The overall, though, when it just gives up on itself. It's like they ran out of. It's like it got rushed at the end, and they were like, fuck it. We just gotta shoot the goddamn thing. We don't know what to do.
Well, that does happen a lot with low budget films because you go
right. We're running out of money. We need to get this shit done because it really I was like, where the fuck are they going? Like they went on this road trip and then
they wind up at the cemetery and that was way too long. That whole scene and
it was
unnecessary.
way too long. And then the friend gets killed and they come back and then it's like I don't know what to do. And then oh yeah, remember the cop thinks he's the bad guy, so we got to do something where the cop still thinks he's an abusive murderer. So
I love how tropey
building.
that was too, where the first time the cop shows up is like at the friend's funeral, because that's I mean how 80s horror movie Nightmare on Elm Street is that?
Yes,
like,
they always do that. Yeah,
ain't no cop showing up at a funeral. It don't happen. They don't do that.
And then at the end,
Trying
when he
to push
comes
buttons.
when he gets in with the gun drawn, and every tenant in the building is standing behind him, looking in. Oh, what's happening in this apartment?
You know, I hate when you say, like, if you say call an ambulance, don't ask me no fucking questions. Call the ambulance first, and then
yes,
after you call them, you can ask some fucking questions. But don't do that. Don't ask me no goddamn questions.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't.
So you'd like it, or do you just not?
Would I ever watch this again?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a better question.
Tawny Kitaen.
I probably would not listen. You could just look it up and watch videos of her dancing. Like, if you really are that desperate to see Tawny Kitaen, you could just watch Tawny Kitaen.
There it is.
But Tawny Kitaen. But watching this whole movie again, I don't think I would ever really watch this whole movie again. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. In fact, if it was a thing of like a group of us that are together and we want to do some cocaine and hang out,
a party movie,
for
a yuppie 80s party, exactly.
Yeah. Then I'd be like,
instead.
Then I'd be like, throw it on. Let's do some lines. Let's play some games. That's what I do. You don't do that at parties? You don't?
No.
You don't,
I don't go. I try to avoid.
That's why I loved it as a 6-year-old.
Yeah, it was the cocaine.
That was our parties. Yeah. That's what our parties were at 6 years
No,
old.
but I mean, like, this is a perfect 80s sleepover movie.
Yeah,
yes,
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Not at 6, but as a 13-year-old, you're renting this. I mean, come on, you as a 13-year-old kid, you're renting this with your buddies for the shower scene that you got to watch the whole fucking movie to get to. By the way,
yes, I thought that was earlier too.
No, wow. Like the final 2 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I love about this is
all through the movie,
that kind of popcorn flick. Right. Yeah, but I couldn't rent that. Like, as much as I like to joke, I don't think that my mom and pop video shop owner would have rented me that.
No
video, but he sure as hell rented me Witchboard. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was the softcore for me growing up. Was that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, I will say for me. I can happily say it does hold up for what it. I've always known it to be a kind of a low budget, fun, at times a little cheesy kind of movie, but I do enjoy it. I don't dislike it. I don't mind revisiting it every 10 years or so. It's like just enough time for me to forget some of the details, and then we watch it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Like, it's that kind of movie to me.
It's weird about that because I mean I watched this multiple times, and there are still moments like, wait a minute, okay, I've forgotten about that. So that's kind of pretty cool.
Yeah. So, So I am happy that we were able to cover it with you, Tenebrae. I'm glad you joined us.
Buongiorno, bellissimo. Yes, bellissimo. Sì, buongiorno.
Show notes.
Buongiorno.
Joel and Tyson getting a room.
Yeah.
like the two. The two boys.
I like hanging out. Hanging out with you and Daryl a lot more. I got to do all kinds of shit with Joel, so
he's had his fill.
I feel
so the money came through,
right?
Yeah, yes, Daryl.
I can tell dirty jokes, and you guys understand the punchlines.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I know how it is.
I'm the most non-Mormon you've ever met in your life.
Yes.
Daryl. Imagine living on an hour or less from me, and I somehow corralled you into going places and doing things. That would be your life if you were Tyson.
Imagine riding in the car, driving someplace an hour or more away with Joel sitting in the passenger side and getting on a rant.
No.
Yeah, you can't escape. There's no escape.
Sometimes I just want to jerk the wheel into a goddamn bridge embankment.
I've been there.
I'm kidding. I love you. I love you all.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
I promise.
Did you not just recently go on a road trip?
We did. We luckily made it back too.
Yeah. Barely, though, if we're being honest.
I heard that.
Yeah. That's a whole other story.
So Tawny Kitaen.
Yes, so Tawny Kitaen.
We're not
So,
going there.
Tyson, would you like to tell the good folks then where they can find you, other than here joining us for Spooky Flix Fest?
Sure. I've written some books. Hopefully, I'll get back around to that particular pastime one of these days. But if you search for Tyson Hanks on Amazon or Google, you can find all the books and stuff I've written. But I guess more recently and sort of more importantly, especially this time of year, you can find me right here visually at the Mom and Pop Video Shop on YouTube or on Instagram at Mom Pop Video Shop. Did I get it right, Joel?
Can we change that, or does that like if we changed it to Mom and Pop Video Shop, but without screw something up? Like, I don't know how that works with your handle on Instagram. Yeah, I probably would screw something up.
I always thought it was Mom and Pop.
You type it. If you type Mom and Pop, it probably would still come up. I assume on Instagram.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
You're gonna make me look.
But that's where I'm at.
All right. Well,
I'm not gonna look
at the shop.
Yes, we are lucky to have you at the shop as a part-time clerk, a 40-something part-time clerk like myself, with apparently nothing better to do with your life. So we're happy to have you.
I appreciate
Peter,
it. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Indeed. Peter,
yes, sir.
Where can they find you when you're not freezing on the interwebs?
How much have I been freezing this time?
Not as bad as last time. I will say it. It's like you freeze and you'll go for a little bit, and then you freeze again, and then you go for a little bit, and you freeze again.
There you go. Exactly.
Now you're freezing a lot. I don't know if you're doing that on purpose.
That's a fake.
I may.
I
called it.
Faked you out.
Do like this.
I think it's something to do with movement too. Like, I think if you don't move very much, it doesn't do it as much.
So meaning that Peter?
No, it didn't. Never mind.
Still.
It did it even when you were still. Never mind. All right. Okay. So Peter, where can they find you?
They can find me here on Retro Movie Geek with you guys, and they can find me on Tearing the Tube.
Yep.
More, I don't know, more mature.
Yes, indeed.
Because Mom is there to keep us in place. Allison, that is.
Yes.
And I don't mean it like she's old. It's because never mind.
Whoa! What the hell, Daryl? Are you moving?
Are you taking a pee?
No, I was.
Are you washing dishes?
Being in the sink.
I was trying to wash dishes. I forgot to turn that off.
Yeah, mute yourself.
you did chores? Wow.
Yeah, man.
He's a multitasker.
That's right.
Where was I? Retro Movie Geek, Turn the Tube, Forgotten Flicks, and they can go to Q's podcast, The Undead Wookiee, where I pop up once in a while. Audio only.
Yes, indeed. Daryl.
Yes, you can find me when I'm not
doing lines on 42nd Street.
Right off the street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That's
safe.
On 42nd Street.
That's how we did it. We did lines right on.
There's pee in this line.
Sometimes, hey, man.
If you're lucky, it's only pee.
That's
the golden streak, then. The golden streak.
You're lucky. But you can find me on Nothing's On, where we talk about TV and movies. You can also find me talking comics on DC All-Stars and Gotham by Geeks. And you can hear me talking about old movies on this fucking, what is it, Retro Movie something?
Yeah, something.
On that show.
Read the script, Daryl.
One of my favorite things is when you were on with Hammond years ago. And you call I think you call it like Retro Geek Movie, or you completely screwed the name up.
I was doing cocaine back then as well.
Yeah, that's the excuse. Yeah.
So
you recorded off for
there were no shits left to give.
No.
I hope that was your dog. That smacking sound, I really hope that was your dog.
No, he was doing a helicopter.
He is all in my business right now. Go sit down. I wish I was that fast.
Come on. There is no tomorrow.
And you just take off.
I am not that fast anymore. So the days are over. Go sit down.
So is that everything for you, Daryl?
It's probably not, but we'll stick with that.
Close enough. Okay.
Yeah, it's close enough.
I can be found, obviously, here, Retro Movie Geek, Mom and Pop
sit
Video
down.
Shop on the YouTubes. Be sure to go over there, check everything out. And, of course, Terror on the Tube with Allison and Peter. And Jay the Dead's New Horror Movies, where we have covered every single Saw movie up through Spiral, which I absolutely hated. I'm sorry, I hated it.
You loved it. Is what
I
You probably can't
hated it.
say that because, let's see, as of this recording, you're up to...
I won't say what my review was, but it was the lowest of the group for me. I will say I'm tentatively looking forward to Saw X or 10 or whatever the hell they're calling it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so go check all of that stuff out. And I guess then, fellers. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say, any
What are we
final
doing
words?
now?
Any final words?
We just got to make sure we say goodbye the right way. We can't leave this session open for the Witchboard rules.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right.
PTFN will not
The
work.
figure 8.
No.
Gotta do the figure 8.
There, happy now. Oh, that door sound was just
That's
perfect.
like Thriller.
Wasn't that wasn't good enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you for listening.
Get out of here.
Get all the spookiness you can handle this October by subscribing to Mom and Pop Video Shop on YouTube. You can also find Retro Movie Geek on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you dig up your podcasts. The spooktastic music you heard at the beginning and end of this episode was provided courtesy of Ed and Gavin and their band, Midnight Syndicate. We want to thank them for the use of music from their albums Gates of Delirium and The 13th Hour. Want to sink your ghostly claws into this and all Midnight Syndicate's beautifully macabre music? Then go to midnightsyndicate.com. And remember, spooky is as spooky does.